This is a quick video on invoicing from quotations. There's two ways to invoice a quote. You can do it directly from the quote screen, or you can do it from the project. So if I go into sales and click on quotes, let's pick one that has a job just to cover all bases. And I'll just open the job screen in a new tab so I can flick between the job that this quote belongs to and the quote itself. Okay, so great. So I'm going to go up into tools on the quotation screen. There's a spanner in the top right hand corner. I'll drop the functions menu down and select the create invoice item from the drop down, and then I'll hit create invoice. This will create an invoice from the quotation. I can set the accounts up. These should default if our test data was a little better. But here we go, I've got that. I can now commit that and I can send it to 0. Great. Now if I go to the project, I can see that that invoice, if I refresh, that invoice is now on the project. So great. The reason we encourage people to do this a different way is because sometimes you can invoice that quotation text-based invoice and you may end up double invoicing the customer. So the better way to do it is to, let's delete this invoice. So uncommit, that will uncommit the invoice in 0 and we'll delete it. Let's go to the project. If we refresh, we can see that, okay, there's no invoice. Now let's invoice from the job. So we've got the quotation, it's not invoiced, invoice no. If I go to job costing, I can confirm that there's no previous invoices for this work that are done in a different method. So that's why it's best to invoice from here. I'll just go invoice job. I'll go create invoice from quotes. I can select the type as construction. Yes, I want to use the line items from the quote. I can tick this little box here to say this is the invoice I'd like to, this is the quote I'd like to invoice, and go create invoice. Same thing, it gets us to the same place. We're all here again. This defaults automatically now because it's handled on the previous screen. We can do the commit and we can send to 0 again. That's just a better way to do it, and you're less likely to have invoicing conflicts, because if someone's done a text-based invoice for this quotation, you'll see it on the job costing screen where you won't notice it so much if you go into the quote. And that's how to invoice quotations in Evolution.